All right. So I'm going to read the my article. It was in the July issue of Fishing Tackle Retailer. I wrote it based on a conversation that I had at the Bassmaster Classic with a gentleman by the name of Ken Duke. We had met. It was funny how we met. We met. I was walking around the show floor at in Knoxville, and old friend of mine is a manager of a professional bass fisherman, and so we just got to talking, just catching up. I've known him for 15 years or so, and he invited me. Said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I said, "Oh, well, I'm going to the weigh-ins, and then I'm gonna head back to the hotel and get ready for tomorrow." He said, "Well, hey, do me a favor. There's a get together tonight, and I'd love for you to attend with me." And I said, "Sure, no problem." So he picked me up at the weigh-ins, and we went to dinner. And at that dinner was a celebration. It was a birthday party, which I was very very honored to be at. And across from me, who I hadn't met yet, was Ken Duke. Now, Ken Duke has been in the industry for a long time. He's been a writer for B.A.S.S. And I've heard about him prior to this dinner, but never had opportunity to meet him. Anyway, so we just get to talking, and he is the managing editor for FTR at that time, or at this point. And he was just asking me what I do and what I've done, and I gave him kind of a brief history of what I've done in my career in the fishing industry. And he said, "Man, I'd love to. Could you put that down into, into an article?" I said, "Yeah. I mean, I'm not I'm not a writer, but I can absolutely put that into an article." He said, "Yeah, give me 1,500 words, and I'll put it into I'll print it for you." I said, "I mean, incredible opportunity between the dinner, the what happened after dinner, the conversation during dinner, and then what we did after." Was a true blessing and something that God can only had His hand in. So that was remarkable. So I came home. Actually, I didn't even leave Knoxville yet. I went back to the hotel and started grinding out a draft. Did a kind of a high level discussion of points that I wanted to talk through, and about 14 or 15 edits later, I was I was happy enough with my draft to put it to print and send it to him. He received the article and said, "Mitch, this is awesome." I sent it back to him. So the classic was in March. I sent it to him pretty close thereafter. I gotta have to go back and look at the date. And it was pretty much still in March, maybe early April. I got the article and said, "Mitch, this is awesome. I want to I'm going to publish it, but I want to wait until the July issue of FTR because it's our largest distribution. ICAST, I think you're going to get a lot more attention and a lot more viewership. It's our largest viewership. We print it out, we put it in all the kiosks, and it's our largest distribution of the magazine is in July. So we want to put it there." So again, incredibly humbled, incredibly blessed to be asked not only just to do it, but then also to have it put in such a prominent issue. So that's kind of the brief beginning of what this article, and I'm really happy with the way that it turned out, and I hope you are too. And so I'm going to just kind of read through it, and if you get a chance, grab the magazine. Give it a read for yourself. FTR does a fantastic job. I've been reading FTR for the last 18 years. I've always gotten it, whether I was a buyer at Dick's or Pure Fishing at Product Manager or whatever. Hope is Not a Strategy by Mitch Dreisbach. As a passionate outdoorsman, nothing beats the culmination of a well-planned day on the water. The preparation has been perfected. The strategy, the execution has all been well thought through. Everything seems to line up. The weather, the tide, the water temperature, the equipment, the bait presentation, and the perfect amount of boat snacks for my 3 happy boys. But even on the best days possible, despite the perfect plan, I still find myself uttering those oh so familiar words. I sure hope the fish are biting. We all think this way because there's a variety of elements within this sport that are out of our control. The trouble is, I see when passionate anglers include this hobby ideology and approach into their professional lives or businesses and start relying on it more and more as they grow. Hobbies thrive on hope, businesses don't. I have been professionally involved and deeply immersed in the fishing tackle industry for nearly 2 decades. I started my career in college as a part-time associate at for a sporting goods company. I cut my teeth selling directly to consumers, assortment merchandising, and all the necessary tedious tasks of an entry-level retail job. As I wrapped up my collegiate athletic career, I wanted to keep my retail employee discount because it fed my fishing and hunting addictions well, but that was the extent of my planning. I didn't have any expectations for the direction my career path would ultimately lead me. Unfortunately, 18 years later, I have experienced depth, proficiencies, and have been built on my education through the following areas: corporate retail buyer, product designer, international brand manager, supply chain manager, marketing director, both digital and traditional, domestic and international manufacturer, product innovator and designer, director of global sourcing and international logistics, point of sale analyst, warehouse and inventory control specialist, sales executive, general manager, and most recently, president. Throughout all of these years, I've been a key contributing member. I've only worked for 4 companies. The diversity of my work experience during those years was broad, and my impact was expansive. Recently, as I mentioned earlier, I attended one of the fishing industry's most important events for retailers, manufacturers, and consumers alike, the 2023 Bass Master Classic in Knoxville, Tennessee. I always attend events like this because it allows me the opportunity to meet one-on-one with dozens of retail executives, manufacturers, C-suite leaders, and legendary iconic personalities and top trendsetters in the industry. During the event, I took part in a variety of casual and strategic conversations, from product innovation, supply chain decisions, and early spring metric performance and real-time POS trends. It's one of the few places in the world where startups, professional entrepreneurs, and big publicly traded companies assemble under one roof. They all present their latest and most innovative product lines while unveiling their marketing initiatives for the upcoming season. And this year was no different. Numerous small entrepreneurs and brands were entering the fishing fray. Countless medium-sized operators demonstrated their latest product innovations, and the big boys, with their flashy booths and multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns, were wowing the masses. Although very impressive, I was struck by a constant underlying pattern while I walked around the expo floor. Regardless of whether I was speaking to manufacturers or retailers, I discovered many, if not most, were missing one or multiple critical integration elements that would likely impact their enterprise success formula. You might ask, what are the critical integration elements? In my experience, before precious time and capital are invested, executives need to ensure their business is positioned effectively to stand out to consumers and can be easily elevated ahead of their competition. As an example, does your organization have an established brand mission, strategy, vision, and essence? A 1, 3, and 5-year financial goal that ensures year-over-year building blocks of success? Synchronized internal processes and highly coordinated procedures to ensure organizational collaboration? effectiveness and efficiencies in all critical areas, senior management support that ensures pragmatic efficiencies and strategies to promote success within these areas of responsibility. Once these basic strategies are in place, the following top 10 key operating areas within your organization must be reevaluated. Constant monitoring, management, and an evaluation of these areas ensures the company maintains its commitment to the organization's strategic plan while meeting its timelines and staying focused on its progress in real-time results. Number 1, consistent product development and innovation. Number 2, manufacturing and logistics. Number 3, consumer packaging and regulatory requirements. Number 4, multi-level supply chain management. Number 5, production and life cycle calendars and timelines. Number 6, customer and brand marketing. Number 7, sales structure and objectives and initiatives, both internal and external. Number 8, inventory control and warehouse management systems. Number 9, cash flow, asset management, and real-time financial reporting visibility. Number 10, warranty, product fulfillment, and CSM influence. Some in the industry might say that this is common knowledge, but how many business leaders could confidently prove that each of these areas in their organization work both autonomously and collaboratively? Are you or your fellow executives focused on the same corporate goals, objectives, as efficiently and effectively as you think? Here's a little dose of reality for you. How many once successful brands that used to be trendsetters and pioneers of the industry are no longer found on the retail shelves or boast the same brand power of yesteryear? These companies have undoubtedly suffered from an inattention to those key operating areas, and you start to lose count quickly. Ailments such as inconsistent product innovation, disjointed internal procedures, lack of asset management control, resistance to new technologies like inventory management systems, confusing or misaligned brand messaging, and organizational and department goals that create internal and external team frictions are just a few of those symptoms. These issues can also create an unhealthy mindset of, that's the way we've always done it. Companies that haven't performed a strategic review of their business in years or made strategic changes to their business are destined to die. They spend time thinking about the world of hope. They hope the revenue increases. They hope the operating costs decline. They hope a marketing campaign pulls through, or hope retailer support continues. Then, one day, the owner wakes up and realizes the company and its shareholders can't endure the red ink any longer. The business is no longer relevant because years of senior leaderships were subscribing to hope as a strategy. All businesses are being influenced by the consistent evolution of technology, consumer trends, and societal pressures, and the tackle industry is no different. However, brands and companies consistently struggle with the dilemma of when it is a good time to make the adjustments required to remain on the left side of the bell curve that everyone is protecting. Senior executives must consistently make honest, objective, and systematic reviews of all aspects of the organization. They need to identify not only their strengths and weaknesses, but also external threats and opportunities. Once this analysis is completed, the work of a 3-year strategic plan will begin to unfold, and the implementation of that strategy shortly thereafter. A clear-headed, strategic direction must be launched without compromising or alienating the core customers of their brand or organization. All companies operating in today's fishing tackle industry must build an effective, coordinated strategic plan that is consistently adjusted and modified based on economic and business conditions. The strategic plan is not something that once completed sits on the shelf in a senior management's office, only to be looked at during performance reviews or budget seasons. No, it must be on top of and embedded into every senior executive's thought process, consistently referred to so the company stays on course. This plan is the company's playbook for success. As I wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a multi-million-dollar tip. If you want If you wanted to know how efficient and effective and forward-thinking your company truly is, take a quick and honest 60-second scorecard review of each of the top 10 operating areas mentioned earlier. Give your business a numerical score of 1 through 5 on each area, then total up your score. If your self-assessment of your organization is 40 or higher, congratulations, you are in the top 5% of the most well-run companies in the fishing tackle industry. A score of 30 to 40 means you're probably okay, but you have some strategic planning and implementation work to do. If your score falls below 30, most likely your organization is operating on a hope strategy basis, and your company's future could be short-lived. Prevent your organization from using hope as a strategy. Be honest as you look critically inside your company and identify areas of disconnect, weakness, or lack of experience that could cause a total breakdown of your current plan, or worse, your business. If you hope problems will fix themselves, they won't. You must act. You must be actively involved, and you must lead your team by being a part of the solution and providing them with the tools for success so that the company can thrive and grow. You know, as you can see, I'm very passionate about this industry. I'm passionate about what I do. The experience that I have gained in this industry over the last 18 years has put me in a position to be able to answer a lot of those questions. So I can help you with that experience. Don't hesitate to reach out, obviously through various social media platforms, my website, dreisbachsons.com. My calendar's up there. So if you found the article beneficial, the self-assessment kind of started hitting home and started kind of creating some questions with your organization, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help answer some of those questions and give you a little bit of advice that I have gained over the last 18 years in the fishing industry. So God bless. I appreciate you tuning in.